today I have something totally different and special for you. So, a few people have asked me about my mosaic Tardis that I have in my background. And it was a special handmade gift that my friend Robin McClick made for me, I don't know, a few years ago now. So, I thought I would share the process that she took to make it because it is so interesting and so cool. So, all right. So here again is my mosaic Tardis. Isn't it beautiful? It's really amazing, and I haven't ever seen anything quite like it. So if you want to make one, the first thing that you have to figure out is like, where exactly are you going to find a TARDIS shaped object that you can turn into a TARDIS? Because it is fairly uniquely shaped in that it's, tall and skinny and it's got a certain depth and width to it. So mine is made from a cutlery box. I know you wouldn't expect it, would you? A cutlery box. Knives and forks go in here. And it's a cutlery box from the dollar store that Robin found when she was out and about. And, I think she's absolutely correct. It's like the perfect size and shape for this. So first, you need to remove the bottom of the box, and then basically, I guess you have to saw that off, and then you have to put them together, glue them in place so that they make that tall cylindrical centerpiece. And you'll also need a thin square for the base. And she used a piece of glass. I don't know if you can see this. So like there's a piece of glass on the bottom that she used for the base. So when she was out getting the glass tiles, she looked for something that was the right base size as well. Then you'll also need to take that base, that bottom bit that you sawed off and used, and you'll need to find another just smaller square piece of wood like cedar that you can glue onto it. And you'll use it for the lid later. So it'll look something like this when you're done. All right. So the next thing you want to do is you need to find some cedar shakes that are the right size to fit inside the box. And they really just need to be really thin. I don't know if you can actually see the inside of the box in the video, but inside are these cedar shakes that line it and give it a little more nice looking interior. Oh, and look, my dog is having a good time on the chair right now. Hi, Mabel. Hi, Mabel. What you doing? You good? So, yeah. So you'll need to find cedar shakes to put into the interior, and you just line the insides and then a little square one to put at the bottom. That way the interior looks nice and finished. And, don't worry, it is a TARDIS. It is bigger on the inside than it looks. So you'll also need to find different shades and thicknesses of the glass to create the lines for the blue on blue design. So if you can see that, we've got lighter shades of blue, darker shades, and then some white. So all these different shades of glass to kind of help create that shading and texture. And you'll notice that she also found some textured mirror to make the windows at the top. So it looks like you would expect. And then she also used a dental pick, a little dental pick to carefully kind of scrape around the edges where the glass squares kind of fit too tightly together. So she just used that dental pick to just very carefully shave away the edges of the little squares to make enough room, because she's going to need that space to put the grout in, because she needs to put the grout in between the little squares. And it does look pretty strange without the grout, doesn't it? Looks really weird. But at this point, it's starting to come together. You can really see the shape of it all fitting together, all those pieces coming together. And the other thing that she uses, in addition to that dental pick for shaving off the sides a little and making it a little more space, is she uses those bent edged tweezers to pick up the glass and gently place them in place in these spaces as the space gets tighter and tighter and tighter to fill. And then again, at this point, the lid is really also starting to come together. So she's got the base done, and now it's time for the lid. And so you can tell it fits pretty well, and the shape of it's not quite square. So when it goes in, you can tell it doesn't fit that way, but it does fit that way. And you just also need to think about the different layers in the lid. And one thing she did is she's got the base of the lid, and then she's got the next tier up, and then she's got the bit at the top where the light lights up on the TARDIS. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's one little silver square mirror right in the middle of the top, in between all the blue glass, that really sets it off so that it does look like the top part of the TARDIS with that light beacon up there. And hey, doesn't it actually look pretty great? It doesn't even look like a cutlery box from the dollar store anymore, does it? So in order to get this to really come together, she needs to mix together the blue mirror. So we've got the dark blue, and then we've got the lighter shades of blue, and the way she works those patterns in helps to create the texture of that woodworking on the exterior of the box. And at this point, it's really ready for the grout. This is where she went out and she looked for the right kind of grout to kind of fill in those spaces between the mirror, because the grout actually transforms a mosaic and it just brings everything together and completes the piece. So normally Robin would use black for this kind of thing, but because it's a TARDIS, she thought, you know what, this is something different. This is something special. So she looked at a few different colors, and she settled on midnight blue sanded grout. And you know what? It's perfect. It's perfect. You don't really even see the grout. You just see the texture and the layering. So first off, you would, once you get the grout prepared, you would take it and you would hand rub it into those grooves between the glass until the entire surface is covered. You fill all those grooves and niches and put that grout right in there. Second, you would then take some of the dry grout, and you would rub the dry grout into the wet, forcing the grout firmly into the cracks between the tiles, and it helps to set it into place. And as you can guess, this is really, really messy. So you really need to have a drop cloth down. You need to have some thick paper, some heavy paper under there to help protect things. And also you want to think about your hands. And one thing Robin does when she's working with the colored grout like this is she puts on latex gloves, and then she puts on coated gardening gloves to really protect her hands from turning TARDIS blue. Okay, and so this is a really good point to get out that dental pick again. So once all the grout is kind of put into the crevices, you need to clean it up a bit. So it's a good point to take the dental pick out and just gently clean away the excess grout from between the tiles, so it's nice and smooth and clean looking. And then also just a really soft cloth to just wipe away the edges of the glass, and super gentle, so you don't accidentally wipe the grout out of its grooves. And doesn't that look amazing? Doesn't that look great? Doesn't this look so pretty and shiny? And I do really like the silver. Again, it really highlights the blue texture and makes that part of it pop. And you know what? Ta-da! After all that work and all that clever putting things together, you have a TARDIS. A TARDIS is born, and I absolutely love it. It's super cool, and it's something that nobody else has. It's something that doesn't exist anywhere else. And I'm really glad that my friend Robin took up the challenge to make me a mosaic TARDIS. It's gorgeous, and it's a one-of-a-kind piece of Doctor Who pop art that honestly, I didn't know I needed it until I had it. It's totally gorgeous, and it's something that I love looking at and displaying, and people always see it and ask me about it. They wanna know, like, "Where did I buy it? Where did I get it?" And I actually, a friend of mine made it who's a professional mosaic artist, and that's really why it turned out so beautifully well. It really brings me so much pleasure. And so this brings us to the end of my mosaic Tardis video. I told you it was going to be a little different than usual. It's not a movie review, but it is still genre focused, and it is super cool and pretty. And it's a little different than what I normally talk about here. But thank you so much for asking about it. I love when people ask me questions about my room. I have a lot of clever, weird, eclectic things in the background, and this is just one of them. It usually sits on my back shelf. But I love sharing this kind of stuff with you guys. And thanks for coming into my house. Thanks for asking me about this. And thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more videos and more reviews, definitely please hit the subscribe button. This was super fun. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you again soon. All right, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye.